Hey guys, it's Noah here with CustomRCMods. Welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I've got yet another rebuild project for you. This one's obviously centered around the FT Simple Scout, and I cannot count how many times I've rebuilt this airplane. It probably is around 8 or 9, which is insane, but you gotta remember that this is a plane I've started with, so obviously I crashed it a lot in the beginning, and that is probably what credits all those rebuilds, along with just incremental adjustments and upgrades I wanted to go ahead and make to this airframe that caused me to rebuild it when I probably could have salvaged the airplane altogether. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and rebuild this now for a few reasons. First things first, it's just overall beat up. I've actually learned to fly inverted on this very plane right here. I got really confident, and some of those things just didn't go too well, hence the loose wing here and the really beat up nose and turtle deck section. Obviously, I had a few other electronic component problems. If you saw the flight videos that I did with this thing, my servos in the wings for the ailerons are absolute garbage. They do not center at all or accurately. They center slowly. Any negative adjectives about that do apply to these aileron servos, and it was just really annoying because that's the entire thing I'm trying to avoid with this Scout build. I want something consistent and smooth, and those servos always required me to go ahead and hold a little bit of left or a little bit of right. I could never actually get it trimmed out. So we're going to go ahead and replace those with two brand new tested and responsive servos as well. I'll leave the tail servos as they are because they seem to be holding up pretty nicely. Now I'm also making an adjustment to my throttle system, my motor system on here as well. I'm adding the Turnigy D2836-8 motor, which is actually the original power combo that I used on my very first Scout. Over time I went down to this smaller A2212 setup that has a little bit less power just so I could use this bigger motor on some of my other planes in the back, but now I've got a few of these to spare, so we're going to go ahead and add it back into the Scout for this time around. I'm also adding a genuine Spectrum receiver. Let me see where it went. This is an AR6210. It's going to be leaps and bounds better than the Laminar X receiver that I have installed in here currently. It actually didn't perform too bad for what it was, but this is just going to give me a little bit more of that added reliability. But other than that, this is not a detailed build video altogether. So if you want to see the build and initial thoughts video that I have on this plane where I go more into depth about everything I like and dislike about the build process, you can go ahead and check that out. Link in the video description. But other than that, I mean, we got the 27 sheets of tiled plans for this, 3 sheets of foam board. We're going to go ahead and get this thing underway, heading up to the time lapse right about now. Alright guys, so I'm out here at the park. As you can see, the build is complete here. It's a chilly 41 degrees today, so I'm not going to be flying for long. And I just thought I'd come out here and perform the Maiden on this plane before I take it out and fly with Kafka and do all the chase footage and the music and the edit and things like that I will do at the end of this video. So just for a minute or two here, I'm going to get this Maiden out of the way, make sure everything's working properly just in case I have to rebuild anything. I don't want to have to find that out as soon as we're trying to get that all filmed. Because I value his time, and of course I value your time as well. Let's go ahead and get right into that flight. Alright, CG just about right, I'd say, for this airplane. Maybe a touch tail heavy. Wrong direction that we want it. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that that is good to go. Alright, taking off into the wind. There's a tree there, tree there. I'm going to take off from the pavement so I don't get dirt on this thing, hopefully. So here we go. Oh, effortless, guys. Effortless. And the reason that this prop is a little bit louder is just because it's not a slow fly prop. It's a little bit higher pitch. But as you can see, guys, this thing's flying really nicely. I also think that the motor shaft is slightly bent on here, which probably isn't the best. But, I mean, I don't think I'd ever say this. I've already said this before, but this is a plane that I've not had to put a click of trim into. And it's already
flying really, really well. I think this prop might be a little bit bent too. But as you can see way out there, this thing performing excellent. Love this plane. I'm so happy I did the motor upgrade on this thing because that makes all the difference. It makes this thing a lot of fun to fly, straight vertical. And yeah, really happy with it all together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and back up and hopefully I don't hit the parking curb and fall over. Let's go ahead and see here. See how I do so we can go ahead and put this thing in for a landing on the pavement, which is always interesting. And I haven't done a lot of that, to be honest, on this channel recently because I haven't had a lot of planes with proper landing gear. Going to make sure my pavement strip is completely vacant and clear. Just going to do some light circles over my head. And then we're just going to low throttle straight ahead. Nice turn. And bring it in. Wind kind of got it there, but... And there it is, guys. I'm going to go ahead and head out and see Kafka now. We can get some more flying footage with this thing. Alright, so the Scout build is complete, guys. As you can see, it's looking very good. And I was going to fly this thing. I flew it in the Maiden. However, this man right here, Kafka, is the Jesus Christ of Scout flying. Therefore, we really just got to let him take over the controls. I'm going to fly Chase just like last time. We're going to go ahead and see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get right into it.